So I made it to the end of the Tecumseh Trail, which for me is actually the beginning. I had to hike in 2 miles to get to this point. It's the closest you could park. So I thought I would get this first 2 miles, which will actually be 4 miles knocked out today, and I'll start the backpacking part tomorrow. Obviously very rainy, so I'm going to head back and figure out where I'm going to stay tonight. Probably going to get a hotel. Just because of the rain, I don't want to start out with everything wet. My understanding is the reason that this ends 2 miles into the woods is because this is eventually where it will hook up with the knobstone when those get connected. So that'll be kind of excited. I've already done the knobstone. Hopefully get the Tecumseh knocked out this week and come back and maybe do the connecting trail at some point down the road. Alright, let's get this hike started. Nice little memorial bench dedicated to Suzanne Mittenthal, I believe is how you say it, the builder of the Tecumseh Trail. I don't know how well it'll show up, but it's getting pretty foggy. Kind of appropriate for Halloween season. So I started at Panther Creek, hiked up some switchbacks, nothing too terrible, up to the top of Miller Ridge. Got a nice ridge walk for maybe just under a mile, and then we'll drop back down into the parking area where I started. So that ends the first segment of the Tecumseh Trail. Well, good morning. I am back on trail, obviously. Getting a little bit of a late start. 2 reasons. One a good reason, one not so good. We were getting ready to get to our hotel last night, and I realized I'd left my hiking poles in my Jeep, which is at the end of the trail. So fortunately, my husband knows me very well. Not surprised. So we drove back this morning to get my hiking poles. I thought about doing it without it, but it's not a super hard trail at all, but I have one really bad knee and I just didn't want to take that chance. Second reason for the late start is I wanted to prepay for my camping at Yellowwood State Forest Campground. A couple different options there. There is a free option. If you're hiking the Tecumseh Trail, you can stay at the youth camp. I confirmed that with the lady there, which is on the north end of the lake. I chose to stay in one of the car camping sites on the south end of the state. I wanted a picnic table. There's a bathroom right down from the site, but the best part is I went ahead and set my tent up. So I have almost all my stuff with me. Again, if I needed to overnight for whatever reason, I could, but my tent is already set up, and I also left me a little bit of a treat for when I get there. There's bathrooms there, there's a dumpster so I can get rid of trash, so kind of nice. Packs about 3.5 pounds lighter, which is kind of nice. And even better though is the fact that when I get there my tent's already set up, so looking forward to that. We'll check in later. Looks like we're getting ready to enter Lucas Hollow. Be interesting to see what that brings. It says use only when dry. Well, it's definitely not dry today, but it's not like flood wet, so I think we'll be okay. It's time to do a little road walking. finding the road sections to be not very well marked. I see an arrow every now and again at some intersections, but for the most part, I have not seen very many at all. And there have been some intersections that were not marked. So I'm using a map, not a big deal, very easy to follow a road. But if you don't have a full map with you, make sure you at least plan ahead for this road part. Figure out what your route's going to be. Now, how cool is this? Sign the S book. Do not leave a sock. I don't have a spare. Let's see if I can find me a tiny little geode. I wasn't going to, but it's just too cool not to. Alright, not so tiny, but really, really cool. At least it's hollow. There's the hotel. I guess motel. If you're wanting to stop for the night. I'm going to keep going to Yellowwood. Tecumseh keeps going that way. That's where I'll start back in the morning. But I'm going to head this way. Yellowwood Lake. Hopefully. Trail to the campsite. I'll talk about impeccable timing. I got here, got my pack off, was getting stuff out, I was going to cook some dinner. Part of the reason I wanted a regular campsite was so I could have a picnic table. But I knew rain was a possibility. And fortunately I made it here to where I could at least get in the tent and get all my stuff in the tent before the rain started. I made really good time today, for me. I mean, not great time, I'm sure, for other people, but good time for me. And I like to think that I knew I had a treat waiting for me once I got back to the tent. So here's my treat. Oktoberfests are my favorite craft beer. One more reason to love October. Cheers! I needed some new socks for this trip, so I thought I'd try something new. Farm to Feet. So far, I really like them. Good morning! I didn't really get a chance to give a campsite tour last night since it started raining right away. So, nice little level spot for my tent. Fire pit. I had left firewood, but since it started pouring down rain, I ended up not using it. So I will leave the firewood. Hopefully somebody can get some use out of it. Picnic table I also didn't get to use. In this particular campsite, I'm in number 16 in Pine something. I'll check on that. Pine something. It's about a half a mile from where I got off the trail. Water spigot right at camp, which is going to be nice. So, nice campsite. I'm also just a very short walk down to the lake. So let's go down and see how it looks this morning. Very peaceful this morning, other than the garbage truck. There's the dam over there. It's where I came across just below the dam. So, as you can see, not very far from where I set up camp. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So I packed up in the rain, and now, of course, it's not raining. But I don't think that's going to last, because it sounds like it's going to be a wet day all day. Didn't bend down far enough. Thought I was going to make it. The trail's been pretty clear for the most part. Been well marked for the most part. This has been an exception down along this creek here. I really don't know what creek it is. Quite a few down trees, and there's been a couple times I've gotten turned around a little bit. I'm guessing markers gone because of down trees, but still okay. Just pause. At one point I did go back to find an old marker and realized I'd crossed the creek one time when I shouldn't have. But still moving forward. A little over 2 miles, I think, till we're done for the day. Collecting my water drop. I didn't know how much there'd be to filter, so this seemed like a smarter idea. Found a spot right along the road, but still right on the trail. Well, that's a good sign to see. Means I'm getting pretty close to the shelter. Not gonna stay in the shelter, but I'd like to camp really close to it. Be a good place to sit and cook dinner. Oh my gosh, that is not what I was expecting for a shelter. It looks really, really nice. I don't know, maybe I will stay in the shelter. Wasn't expecting a door. Beef stew and biscuit. It's what's for dinner. Well, it looks like it's going to be a little too dark to do this very well, but I did decide to stay in the shelter tonight. This will be new for me. There's nobody here. I've seen nobody on the trail in 2 days. I have seen people at the campground, Yellowwood Lake, but as far as on the Tecumseh Trail, I've seen nobody, so but I could not pass up the chance to get everything hung up and dried out. There's places to actually hang stuff in there, which is super nice. So we'll see how it goes. First time for everything. Good morning. Slept pretty good. I could get into this shelter thing, I think. About halfway packed up. Want to eat a good breakfast this morning, but I'd like to get an early start. I want to get as far as I can today. Today's supposed to be dry, I think, which will be nice, but kind of hot. High of 81, so I'd like to hike before the heat hits if I can. Time for my morning coffee. I really love these things. Sometimes they're good in the afternoon too when you just need to pick me up. Equal to 1 cup of coffee. I'm very glad this is dry, because I'm definitely not coordinated enough to go across that log. From the looks of things, if this was full, it'd probably be close to waist deep on me. See if I could do a better job going under this one than I did the last one. Alright, so there's a really nice, well-maintained trail through here, but the trail does turn, and I actually missed this. I didn't go too far, was able to backtrack, but make sure you keep following the white blazes. This one wasn't obvious. Not my destination for the night, but definitely my lunch stop. Get my boots off, maybe they can dry a little bit. I doubt it, but you know, one can always hope. The cool thing is, according to this, I'm about 13.9 miles from the end. Very cool. Trying to dry out my socks a little bit while I'm on my lunch break. I just watched and listened to a very large tree go down just a little ways out in front of me. Not what you want to hear when you're hiking through the woods. Sorry, no hitchhikers. Alrighty, I will do as told. The more exciting thing for me is I have a water drop up here. I'm actually out of water. That never ever happens for me. Ever. Holy hill climb, Batman. Doesn't help that it's 80 degrees today. I'm hot. I'm tired. I'm ready for camp. Brand new shelter I had no idea was here. May regret passing this up. Well, this is home for the night. I guess it was always a hard day. Today was a hard day for me. It wasn't a bad day today, just a long day. I was expecting about 12 miles. My Fitbit was showing 13.7, and my Fitbit has been really accurate. I mean, spot on for the whole trip. So I don't know if something changed with that, or I'll have to compare it to the inReach at some point. But I am here, set up, actually ready for bed. I had to do things kind of quick when I got to camp because it took way longer than I thought. But if I'm figuring things right, I should be 7 or 8 miles from the end. So tomorrow will be the finish. I'm tired, hoping to get to sleep early, get up early, showing thunderstorms coming in about 9 o'clock. So want to be packed up and going by then, which should not be a problem, but for me, getting moving in the morning is always a challenge. So we'll see how I do. I was hoping to get a sunrise picture with my tent in the background, but I'm already hearing thunder, and I can't see it in the video, but there's a thunderhead forming right over that hill there. So we're going to see how quick we can get packed up. Finally get to see a sunrise. Last morning on the trail. Ibuprofen for breakfast. Not even sore muscles and sore joints. I actually have a little bit of a headache. I'm guessing I'm just a touch dehydrated. Once again, no riders. Sorry, dude. Here you go. It's a nice tree. Climb over to the tree. There you go. There you go. Well, the race is on. See if we can beat the thunderstorms. Cute little steps, but very slippery. Well, here comes the rain. I'm gonna wait. It's just a light rain right now. I'm gonna wait and see if it gets heavier before I put my rain gear on. Not super hot yet, but the humidity is just oppressive. I think you can drink the air. And yes, I'm out of breath. Just came up a big hill. There's actually been very few white rectangles on this section. There's been a lot of white diamonds. That confused me a little bit last night. But as long as you're following the white diamonds, at least on this stretch, I'm assuming that we're probably paralleling another trail. But the white diamonds are the right way. The rain is picking up, so I'm going to keep moving. Well, as soon as I make a comment about the lack of rectangle white markers, there's all kinds of them now, but there definitely was a stretch where it was almost all just the white triangles. Well, I was right about the diamonds. Apparently they mark the low gap trail, which the Tecumseh parallels. Glad to be going down here instead of up. And I'm guessing I'll have my share of up before we're all done today. So I'm getting to that awkward part of the trail where I'm starting to run into day hikers that are clean and don't stink. Making me feel pretty self-conscious, but hey, I just hiked at this point probably about 40 miles, so I think I've earned my grime. I'm gonna go with that anyway. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting a paved trail. Apparently we are following the big trail for a little bit. Oh well, easy walking. Seem to have made it to the end. Storms are definitely rolling in, so I think my timing is going to be about impeccable. Now just the short walk to my Jeep. There's the site for sore feet. Always good to see my Jeep waiting for me.